Hey there, thanks for coming and watching my video. Hopefully you're enjoying my content. And if you are, please feel free to share and to subscribe. There's definitely more coming, especially as we get closer to the beginning of the season. For this video, I'm going to talk about Saliba. A lot has been made about Saliba, and I just wanted to sit back, let the dust settle a little bit. Let's see what happens with it and go from there. So let's get into it. Okay, well, Saliba obviously signed for £27 million a few years ago. Hasn't been given any game time at the moment, and there's been a lot that's gone on kind of in that period of time. He's been out on loan. He's been prevented from playing in the cup final. And, you know, there's a lot of Arsenal fans out there who are Arteta out and will basically do anything they can to push that agenda. And, you know, listen, that's your business. That's fine. Where I sit and how I see it, you know, we've got a young man who's come into a club in a different culture, who has high potential. So there's pressure already for a big fee, which is more pressure. Lost his mum, and was sent out on loan as part of the original deal, sent back out on loan for the year. Prior to coming back into Arsenal, had a cup final to play in where the club wanted money for him to be able to play. A part of the contract was that if they made a cup final and he played in the cup final, he would have to pay. They would have to pay £2 million, I believe it was. And so the loan agreement had already finished, and Arsenal refused. You know, why are we going to pay £2 million for us to send one of our players to you, especially when they refused to follow the training plan that they had put in place for Saliba. So you're not going to look after the best interests of our player physically, and you want us to pay you for that so that he can go and win you silverware. I mean, just, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And so how anybody can defend that or use that as an excuse to hate on Arteta, again, just makes no sense to me. But anyway, you know, when I look at things, I agree in him going out on loan, and I'm hoping that he is kind of out somewhere, you know, shortly, where he can kind of get embedded into a new club where he can play for the year. If Arsenal want to keep him, I'm absolutely fine with that as well. I do think he needs game time, and I think his best chance at game time is going to be out on loan. You know, one thing that's really struck me is, you know, we're in the midst of the Euros, you know, the finals on Sunday, and France didn't have the best of tournaments, but he was nowhere near that France squad. And prior to the Euros, the under-21 Euros happened, and he was nowhere near that squad either. And so while we're raving about him, and let's be honest, the reason we're raving about him is because of his price tag, which isn't his fault, and it's not Arteta's fault either. We're raving about him, but they're not raving about him in France. Yeah, they're saying that he's potentially one of the best French products, you know, and one of the best French centre backs, but he didn't make it anywhere near the Euros team, didn't make it anywhere near the under-21 team. So to me, that kind of tells you a little bit, it gives you a better indication as to, you know, how he's thought of. I really do feel that price tag is something that is dictating a lot of what's happening at the moment. And, you know, price tag isn't an indication of ability. You know, price tag is an indication of the market at the time. And even when he was bought, there was, you know, a lot of foul play involved in terms of overinflated pricing and that kind of stuff. So, you know, again, don't hold it against him, but you can't hold it up against Arteta either. I have concerns over reports that Saliba wants to go back to France on loan. while I can understand it, in terms of, I can understand it from a point of view that he wants to be around his family or be closer to his family. He's young, so no problems with that. In terms of the language difference, in terms of just general culture, you want to be around what you're comfortable around, and all of that. I fully understand that. You want to be in a situation where you're familiar with everything, the way French clubs operate, etc., etc. Fine, and I understand all of that. But and this is me speaking as a coach. If you want to improve, there are certain conditions you have to meet in order to reach kind of like an optimal stage for improvement. One of those things is a challenge. In order to improve something, or in order to improve in an ability in something, you have to constantly push the level of challenge. It has to be progressively harder. And as it's progressively harder, you adapt to that new level, and then you can push it to go progressively harder again. There shouldn't be a level of comfort. You shouldn't be in a comfort zone when you're looking to improve in anything. I'd like to see the mentality from him of, I want this challenge. I want to improve. In order to do that, I need to play in a more physical league. I need to play in an arena where it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to be able to just dominate someone, through a particular area of the game, whether it be a physicality, whether it be technically, you want something that's going to challenge all of the pillars of development. And so I'd like to see a little bit more, mental strength from him personally. So hopefully you've enjoyed what I have to say on this matter. If you've enjoyed it, please click like. If you want to share, please click on that share button and subscribe. As I say, there's much more coming. We're going to be having transfers in soon as the Euros finish. There'll be more transfers out, I'm sure of it. And the season's just around the corner. So I will definitely have a lot more to say. Thanks for watching. And as always, come on, you Gunners.